Stout Man coming back at you once again, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some Blu-rays that I got again, because that's what I do now. I do videos about Blu-rays that I bought. Regardless, today I got some pretty cool stuff from SecondSpin. As you know, I've been using them instead of FYE, even though they might probably be about as good as using FYE, you know, because they're probably like the same parent company using the same warehouses and stuff. Needless to say, even though I've seen the host on there, I haven't bothered picking it up because of a fear instilled in me by FYE that if I order the host online, I'm going to get the wrong version again. But that's alright, because I still found some pretty dang cool stuff for a really low price. I believe the deal they had was basically 25% off of all of their Blu-rays, and that included all their used Blu-rays, and they had already some pretty good deals on their used Blu-rays. So I picked up a few titles that I wanted. I think in total the price for them all came to, like, after like tax and shipping and everything, came to $5 and some change each, which is pretty good considering that some of these titles are kind of hard to come by for a decent price. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the one Scream Factory title I got. Yes, for $5 and some change I got a Scream Factory title, but when you see it you'll probably understand how that's possible, because it's Cockneys versus Zombies. Now, this movie, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to, because it is a hilarious film, horror comedy, as you can probably tell. There are moments in this movie that will make you laugh out loud. Guaranteed, it's just that hilarious. It's kind of in the same vein as Shaun of the Dead, if you will. It very much feels like an Edgar Wright film, although it actually isn't an Edgar Wright film. But anyways, it's hilarious and brilliant, and I loved it. So I knew I had to have it. And I first saw it on Netflix, I believe. I watched it with a friend of mine. I may have even watched it with more than one friend, I can't remember. But either way, this one has been a fairly low price before. I think actually the lowest price I saw it for was $5. So I went ahead and decided to get this from SecondSpin here for $5 and some change. And lo and behold, it came with the slipcover, which of course I'm never expecting with anything used from SecondSpin or anywhere else for that matter. So whenever it comes with the slipcover, it's always really nice. And this is actually in really good condition, the slipcover. So as you can probably tell, it actually has a piece of inside artwork from the film here. That's pretty nice. Not a reversible cover, but inside artwork, that's pretty nice. I'll take that, you know. Not bad. But either way, it's definitely a movie that I really enjoyed on Netflix and wanted to have for my own, because I'm not even sure it's on Netflix anymore. So yeah, now if I feel like watching this, Halloween season is over now, but you know, maybe next Halloween I feel like watching a funny horror movie, bam, right there. I own it. Don't have to worry about if it's on Netflix or Amazon or Hulu or who fucking cares. I got it right here. Another movie I wanted to get here. I've actually been wanting to pick this up for quite some time. Well, no, I wouldn't say quite some time. It just came out last year. But I've been wanting to pick it up ever since I found out about it, because it looked hilarious. The trailer for it was brilliant, and I can't remember if it went directly to video or not, but it certainly was one of those that, like, it either had a very limited run in theaters or had no run in theaters at all. Which was interesting because of the actors in it. You wouldn't expect a movie like this, with actors like this, to get no play in the theaters, but you know what, it was just, and especially considering who made the movie, but it was just something I had to finally check out. And considering how low the price was, $5 and some change, for something relatively new that I haven't seen for a good price at all, had to go ahead and pick up Army of One Of course, if you can see up here, maybe that's the reason it was so cheap. The artwork here is a little destroyed. Whatever, at least I got it for a really good price. And this movie, for those who don't know, first of all, filmed by Larry Charles, the director of Borat. It stars, of course, Nicolas Cage here, and what's his name? Russell Brand here, and it looks hilarious. All about guy, Nicolas Cage, who is trying to find Osama bin Laden. And it's a true story of this weird, crazy guy, apparently, who's trying to find Osama bin Laden and capture him. And he goes off on his own, apparently, to try and find him, and just crazy, wacky adventures ensue. So, yeah, I've been wanting to see this ever since I saw the ridiculous trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer for this, I highly recommend you go and see the trailer, because that's what sold it for me. And I knew at that moment I wanted to see it. But, well, it hasn't come to Netflix, it hasn't come to Hulu, it hasn't come to Amazon, I haven't seen it anywhere. So, really, the only way to get it is, for me at least, was for a good price, was Blu-ray. $5 and some change. That's a pretty good deal. I'll take it. Next up here we have my favorite Uwe Boll movie. That's right, I got an Uwe Boll movie. Postal! And of course, the reason it's my favorite Uwe Boll movie is, as I say, and have said, ever since I saw this, it's literally the best video game adaptation put to film ever. The most accurate. Maybe not the best, but the most accurate for sure. But it's not really hard to be the most accurate video game adaptation put to film ever when it's Postal. Because Postal is just the most ridiculous, stupid kind of a game you've ever seen. I mean, for Pete's sake, part of the game you've got, you can use like a cat as a muzzle for your gun or something like that. It's ridiculous, okay? It's one of those over-the-top first-person shooters with, not much of a point to it. So, if that's the kind of game you're working with, you don't really have to do too much to make a good movie out of it. And I actually kind of like the actors in this. First of all, it stars Dave Foley, who you may remember from Kids in the Hall. He's a hilarious guy. It also stars Scott Farkus here. I call him Scott Farkus. That's not his actual name, but he played Scott Farkus in A Christmas Story, which I'm sure pretty much everyone has seen. Yes, this is the evil red-headed guy from A Christmas Story right here as the main character. And of course, you've also got Vern Troyer down here. So, Vern Troyer, Mini-Me, like, this has got a pretty star-studded cast for a movie that was some throwaway thing from Uwe Boll, just kind of having fun with a ridiculous concept of a video game, So, with that in mind, gotta say, it is actually probably some of Uwe Boll's best work. And it is actually one of the most accurate representations of a video game ever put to film. Because there wasn't much there to begin with, But either way, I'm glad to have this. I'm glad that I didn't have to pay too much for it either, so, yeah. And I don't know if I'll ever get any other Uwe Boll movie, because he wasn't a very good director, so, I don't know. I think we can all agree on that. Uwe Boll's not a great director, but, he's at least a notable, interesting director for the kind of stuff he does, and the way he does it and the reasons that he does the movies that he does. And it's just interesting to find that through all these crappy video game adaptations that he did, there's actually one that was accurate, and it was actually kind of okay. Not great, but kind of okay. Anyways, moving on, we have Frozen. No, not Disney's Frozen. This is the horror movie Frozen. It's about a guy and a girl who end up on, as you can see here, a ski lift in the middle of the night, and the ski lift is shut down, and it's freezing, and they have to face the fact that they're either going to sit up there and freeze to death because nobody's coming back, because it's the weekend, so nobody's coming back for like a day or two or something like that, or they have to find a way out of this. And so things start to go south pretty damn quick, and it's creepy and spooky and disturbing and intense in some ways. A lot of people say it's just meh. I think it's a little bit better than meh. I think I would give it like a 7 out of 10, something like that. I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to own it, and it's been a long enough time since I originally saw it that I definitely wanted to go back and see it again. So, yeah, that's one of the big reasons that I got this one. It's got a bunch of special features on here too, so yeah, pretty interesting. And I don't know, you guys tell me your thoughts on this one if you have seen it. If not, I do recommend at least checking it out. But yeah, I like the movie. What can I say? I think it's a great little indie horror movie. Maybe not indie horror movie, but it's definitely a lot of fun for somebody like me who likes suspenseful horror movies more than just straight up slasher fests, you know what I mean? So if you're into that kind of suspense horror stuff like I am, then this is probably a good bet. And here's where things go from being kind of like, okay, so we got a suspense horror movie here, got a ridiculous bad movie from a bad director here. We've got, the outrageous concept of some weird crazy guy going to look for Osama bin Laden. We got Cockneys versus Zombies, a horror comedy that is just outrageous in every way, shape, and form. And then we go from that to, of course, none other than A Charlie Brown Christmas. I know, it really doesn't fit with anything else in this video. Anything else that I picked up from SecondSpin, I know. But the price was just too good to say no. You know better than I do, likely, that these specials, and whether they be on the new 4K release or on Blu-ray, are still really, really expensive. Like, finding this for sub $10 is almost impossible. So when I saw it there for $5 and some change, yeah, I went for that because I'm like, especially this close to Christmas, I'm not going to see that again. Not going to happen. Might go down to $8. Not very likely because it's a popular title and because Christmas titles almost never go on sale unless they're unpopular during the holiday season. For instance, you'll see things like Jingle All the Way going down to like $7, $8 or lower during the holiday season. But a very popular movie, like say, or even a special like the, I want to say Muppets Christmas Carol, but you might even see that one go down in price a little bit. But definitely like the original Christmas Carol movies and like Miracle on 34th Street, you rarely ever see those go down in price. So this is one of those really beloved Christmas movies, and it rarely ever goes down in price whatsoever. So I definitely wanted to get it on Blu-ray at least. Yes, there's a new 4K release, but from what I was reading up about the transfer and about the release in general, it's nothing special apparently. Some reviews even had it that the transfer on this was better than the transfer on 4K. I don't know if that's just somebody not understanding how things are supposed to look or what, but either way, I was just like, you know what, if there's not that much of a difference between the 4K release and the Blu-ray in terms of quality because it's an older animation special, then why bother getting the 4K version? Or why worry about getting that right now in the first place when I don't have a 4K player as it is? Yes, I am picking up some things for my 4K collection now, but usually when they're very, very cheap, and usually when it's something that I know I'm going to want in my collection for when I do eventually get a 4K TV and a 4K Blu-ray player, right? So, maybe it would make sense to get the 4K release of this because I want it, but I don't want to pay a huge price for it. You know what I mean? So knowing that it literally just came out and knowing that it's fetching like 20 bucks or something like that. Nah, this is $5 and some change. I'll be happy with this, thanks. And of course, on one of the special features here is it's Christmas time again, Charlie Brown. So you get 2 features here in one, which is the same as the DVD release was. And we have the DVD release downstairs, but that one is getting pretty beat up after repeated viewings over the years, so Blu-ray lasts much, much longer, and it was pretty cheap to pick it up finally. So very, very happy about that. Very happy about that little upgrade, if you will. And then last but not least, we have some more Peanuts with a boy named Charlie Brown. Now, I know they did a release that had this and Snoopy Come Home in one set. One red case, in fact, set. But I elected to go for just the Snoopy Come Home release when I picked that one up for like 10 bucks or something like that back a few months ago. Maybe... was it a few months ago or like last year? I don't remember. It was long enough ago that I don't remember exactly what the price was. But it was a fairly decent price for what it was at the time. I recall that. But ever since I got that, ever since I got Snoopy Come Home on Blu-ray, I've been thinking, man, I should probably have gotten this one too. Unfortunately, this one, for whatever reason, just sits at the $10 to $15 range and never seems to drop below that. So, again, I saw it for $5 and some change, and I said, oh, hell yeah, then, yeah, that's going to happen. I got to make that happen, because I definitely wanted this one and the Snoopy Come Home release. That was my favorite of all of them, obviously. Other than the Christmas special, Snoopy Come Home is probably my favorite Peanuts special, and it's a movie, of course, but it's my favorite Peanuts anything other than the Christmas special, period. Put it that way. But I do remember liking this one quite a bit. I also, what is the one, the Voyage one? I can't remember that one, but I can't remember exactly what that one's called, but I like that one as well. So, yeah. I don't know if they did a release of that one on Blu-ray, but I did know that they did this one, and I wanted to have this one on Blu-ray, so here it is, and I'm very happy. I'm especially happy that it came in the red case. Ooh, would have loved to get it with the slipcover like the Snoopy Come Home had, but as long as it has the red case, I'm alright that it didn't come with the slipcover, because, hey, it's not every day you see anything released in a red case. Anyways, that will do it for me. Thanks for watching, you guys. I think I made a pretty good haul. I got a pretty good haul here today, so yeah. Thanks for watching. Tell me your thoughts about this pickup in the comments below. Catch you later. Peace.